Now, what should have been a day celebrating dads and father figures on the nation turned into a clash between protesters as tensions flared between pro-Palestinian and pro-Israeli groups at Bondi Beach on Sunday. I did tell you on Friday that it was planned. The Solidarity with Gaza paddle out was planned, and I did say then, I hope it doesn't go pear-shaped. Well, did it go pear-shaped? There were clashes between both sides. The move has been criticised by the Jewish community leaders. And by the way, the police are still investigating and checking out CCTV, and charges may well be laid in the future. We'll find out. And Bondi, of course, is, as you know, home to one of the largest Jewish populations in the country. And they're saying, and the Jewish leaders, that it's unnecessarily provocative. The Australian Jewish Association was among the loudest voices warning of division and anger and danger ahead of that protest, and its CEO Robert Gregory is on the line. Morning, Robert.
Good morning.
Look, Robert, just in a general sense, for some time now, this has been escalating. The whole situation has been escalating. Do you fear, and I'm not an alarmist and I don't want to be, that it's only going to get worse before it gets better?
I think so. Unless we see leadership from government, from the authorities, trying to put a stop at it somewhere, it seems to be escalating. These have gone from protests in the city, so it was easy for a lot of people to avoid the city on the weekend to try and stay out of this, but now it's coming to people's houses where they live, to the neighborhoods where the Jewish community is concentrated. These people are coming to provoke conflict, and as you warned, it went pear-shaped, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, that's exactly what happened, and I'm just very pleased it didn't go even more badly pear-shaped than it actually did. Look, I mean, obviously, and I said at the time too, they're choosing the Harbour Bridge because it's an icon and they want to get coverage on television, not just here but across the world, and that's why they're choosing Bondi. But choosing Bondi on Father's Day at 8 o'clock in the morning, you're saying is provocative, and I think we all know what the intent was.
Yeah, it started with the Sydney Opera House. Those scenes were broadcast all around the world. And as you said, the Sydney Harbour Bridge, now Bondi Beach, which is world-renowned. So I don't think Australian landmarks and Australia's reputation needs this. And I don't think the Australian community, who, exactly, you're right, wanted to enjoy Father's Day. Some people just wanted to enjoy the beach. And everybody's welcome at the beach. If they want to come for a paddle out, come for a surf, but leave the placards, leave the flags at home. Yeah. It's not appropriate.
No, it's not, Robert, and goodness me, I've been in this business a long time. I've been talking about this situation for a long time. But when you had a group that said they were Jews against the occupation and identifying as Jewish, and I mean, Jewish people are surely not a homogenised group. So how do we even begin to reconcile these differing ideologies when it comes to this conflict? I know it's probably the oldest question in creation, just about, isn't it?
It is. It's an old conflict, but I mean, the group you mentioned is a minuscule group. It'd be just a dozen or so people.
Yeah.
It'd be like us setting up a group, Muslims for Israel, and then holding a protest in Lakemba or Bankstown. So right. I don't think it's a serious attempt to. And most of the people who attended that protest were not Jewish. They were wearing hijabs and different things. So, yeah. But yeah, I mean, everyone wants the conflict to be resolved. I don't think any action that happens in Bondi or anywhere in Australia is going to help resolve it. So I don't know that that's particularly helpful.
Yeah.
I think it's up to the people in the Middle East to find a solution to that.
Well, yeah, that's the larger question that you and I and nobody else seems to have been able to answer for a very long time. But just back to this, police maintained a heavy presence and intervened when the tempers flared, and they did. Are they doing enough to protect the community and keep the peace? I mean, that right to protest and the right to demonstrate, which is, enshrined in the way we live. I think we all understand that. But at what point does it become provocative, unnecessary, and more action needs to be taken?
Well, I think in this case, perhaps more action could have been taken. It's good to see there was quite a bit of police resources, but I just think that some people are not getting the message. So we saw already yesterday, someone came and rode a horse along Bondi Beach, waving a Palestinian flag.
Right.
I think obviously the police are not deterring people from these provocations, and there was some video of them just talking to this person and saying, it was inappropriate, but letting him continue on his way. So I think they do need to take it a bit more seriously, because because we are worried that it will escalate further, and we don't want to see someone seriously hurt or worse.
No. We've seen this hideous rise in anti-Semitic incidents in Sydney, particularly around Bondi. I mean, do you believe these types of demonstrations, contribute to that atmosphere? I mean, it just, and you watch it on television, I wasn't there, and I'm sure it was very confronting for people who were there. I mean, there would have been families on the beach, Robert, at 8 o'clock, and 8 o'clock in the morning at Bondi. I'm a Bondi boy, by the way. I grew up there, and I still love the place. I don't go as often as I used to, but it's my spiritual home, if you like, and I grew up on that beach. So, that atmosphere of hostility would have been very difficult to come to terms with.
Exactly. I mean, Bondi's home to several synagogues and kosher restaurants, Jewish businesses, some of which have been burned down in arson attacks over the last couple of years, connected to that Iranian plot. So it's very raw for a lot of people, and it's very confronting. People just wanted to enjoy Father's Day, and I think that's why we saw a big response from the Bondi community, from both Jewish and not Jewish people who came out to oppose this and saying, not here, not in our backyard. If you want to hold a protest, there's appropriate places to do it in Hyde Park, do it somewhere else. But this is just crossing all sorts of new lines.
Yeah, and, it's as we both know, it's attention-seeking, and they want the TV coverage both here and overseas. Look, the Mayor of Waverley, Will Nevish, was pretty vocal in his attempt to stop the protest, but, as we know, no one's going to listen to that, unfortunately, because they're just intent on protesting, and, they protest every weekend, the Palestine Action Group, and they do that in Hyde Park, and the latest people who want to use the bridge to demonstrate have decided not to, and they're going to do their demonstration against everything governmental on Sunday as well. We just seem to be having this atmosphere of people wanting to protest and counter-protest, and it's not us, it's not Australia, it's not the way we are, it's not the way we generally behave, and I don't know about, I know you do, because I find it deeply disturbing as well.
You're right, and there's also the cost to the taxpayers. That these 2 years of protest in policing are phenomenal, but it's cost taxpayers. There does seem to be a bit of a double standard, that one group was allowed to march on the Harbour Bridge, and it makes sense now that other groups should ask for that as well. So it's strange to see them being denied it. Obviously, we don't want to see protests all the time now on the Harbour Bridge, but we can't have a double standard in protesting, and one group that's been constantly protesting for 2 years should perhaps, I'm not saying prevent their right to protest, but everyone gets the point, maybe have a few restrictions on it.
Yeah, can I ask you too, and Robert is the CEO of the Australian Jewish Association, and how Jewish people are feeling at the moment in the wake of all this fearful trepidation. How are Jewish people, particularly around Bondi? And as I say, I'm a Bondi boy, I know it very well. What's the mood, if you like?
A lot of people are scared and worried. We're forgetting that how quickly the news develops. Just a couple of weeks ago, it was revealed that Iran, a foreign country, carried out a series of attacks against the Jewish community in Australia. So people are scared. A lot of people hide their religion. They cover Star of David necklace. They wear it inside. They won't wear the Jewish head covering, the kippah, outside. People are very worried, and they're worried about their future in Australia, and when is this going to stop? When is this wave of anti-Semitism, which is particularly bad in universities? They watch the media, and they're worried about what they see on the ABC, an entire community being demonized, called all sorts of names. So it's a very concerning time for the Jewish community.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. And Robert, as I've said to my listeners too, admittedly, there's only a few of them, thankfully, but how anyone can actually attach the word Nazi to themselves in a modern context, given we know what happened, and I think today's the day that Hitler launched his assault on Leningrad. How anyone can attach the word Nazi to their name, whether it's neo or otherwise, is just beyond my comprehension.
Yeah, and we're seeing this growth of anti-Semitism now, these neo-Nazi groups on the right. We'd already seen it growing on the left and in some parts of the Islamic community. So it feels like it's all coming together at once. And the Jewish community's been in Australia since the first fleet. Not as officers they came. So it's part of Australia. It's been here since the very beginning. And this is probably the hardest period in the history of the Australian Jewish community. So it's very difficult.
It is indeed. Thanks for your time. Good to talk to you this morning. Thanks. That's Robert Gregory, the CEO of the Australian Jewish Association.